sure.
Awesome. Welcome, girls, to Beverages with Benefits. I love it. And truly, we're going to talk about a couple different things today. But first off, we thought we should start with the importance of just hydrating. And I know most of you who are on this call today have heard us drill that into you, not only by us, but other people. And when you live in the West where it's drier, we need it even more here, right?
Yep.
So water, and it's funny, I'll talk to people and I'll say, you really need to hydrate as they're drinking a big glass of iced tea or a soda. And there's something wrong with that picture, unfortunately. When we say hydrate, you need to hydrate with water. Iced tea and other things are wonderful add-ons, but we need pure water. And how many of you feel like you drink enough water? Raise your hands. Okay, so there's a few of you that, yeah, sometimes, yeah, and we all have days, right? And how many of you maybe just kind of get bored with drinking water because it's kind of tasteless, and you wish it was more exciting, right? Yeah. So that's definitely an issue for us. I sometimes it's just sometimes I just love plain water, but other times I want something a little more tasty. So we're going to talk about all the different oils that you can use. And Wendy, if you have that list of oils ready that you can print, but let's just talk about some of the benefits really quickly. The water carries nutrients and oxygen to our cells, and drinking water also helps flush bacteria from your bladder. It aids digestion. It helps with constipation if you guys have any of that. Any sort of arthritis or anything at all, we really need to flush all of that out. It helps to regulate body temperature if we're too hot, right? Maintaining our electrolyte balance, which is really important. Now, there is such a thing where you can dilute the electrolyte balance by drinking too much water. But generally, they say, an adult person should be drinking about 2 liters of water a day. Some say a little more, some say a little less, but about 2 liters. And so we put together, before we get into all these other drinks and stuff, I wanted to talk about all the different oils that you can put in your water. Now, some you may kind of go, well, I don't really think I want that in my water. But here's the list. You can see Madagascar, vanilla, cardamom, lemon, lime, wild orange, grapefruit, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, cinnamon and cassia, fennel, lavender. Yes, you can drink lavender, basil, turmeric, and black pepper. Now, that's just the short list. There are more oils that people will drink. But, you're thinking, well, do I really want cardamom in my water? Well, so first of all, I'm going to tell you a couple of tricks for drinking more water. If you have a fancy glass, now I'm in my van traveling right now, but I still have a wine glass in here. Now I have my water bottle. That's what I drink from most of the time when I'm driving, right? I'm not drinking a wine glass while I'm driving. But when I'm sitting, oh, come on, I know. Wouldn't that be fun to get pulled over and say, officer, it's just essential oils. Anyway, so what I've got in here today is I have 1 drop of cardamom essential oil. We're going to talk about the benefits of that in a little while. And 2 drops of wild orange. And it is so yummy. And cardamom is my God, it's such an amazing oil. It's great for your digestive system. It's great for your respiratory system. It's antibacterial. It has just so many benefits. And it tastes delicious. And it just goes wonderful. Now, I don't really like drinking it alone. I prefer to mix it with a citrus. So here I am getting extra water into my system. And by having it in a fun glass, I don't know if it's a wine glass or if you have, like Barbara had a beautiful painted wine glass. Maybe you have a special tall glass that you like. It doesn't matter. But something that makes it more enjoyable. And there's something elegant about having a beautiful wine glass in your hand, right? And so if you fill that with water and you put any one of those oils in there, I guarantee you're going to be more tempted to drink your water when you're just at home, right? Cleaning the house, doing whatever. Nothing wrong with having that gorgeous crystal wine glass. Might as well get out the crystal, right, ladies? Most of it's sitting in the cabinet. Get out one of those glasses and fill it with water and drink. So that's just a little key. So the importance of the hydration, we all know that. So here's this beautiful list. By putting citrus oils in your water, it helps also clear the liver and the kidneys. And we want to do that on a daily basis. Why do you think lemon water is so popular? Anybody know?
It removes toxins. It's kind of a cleanser.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It helps. What lemon goes after is synthetics. And so our body doesn't do well with anything synthetic. And what it does is it will eat away at synthetics. And so it helps clear any synthetics, which we naturally get, especially if you're drinking water from plastic bottles. And on that note, I want to make sure that you know, if you're putting water in a glass, make sure it is not plastic. No plastic, especially with the citrus oils, because citrus will go after synthetics. That's what plastic's made from. And so it literally will break down the plastic, and then you're drinking that. So don't put it in your water bottles that if you're buying Crystal Springs water, and I'm going to recommend you don't buy water in plastic bottles. If you can avoid it, get a filtration system. There's so many there's machines that can alkalize your water. There's filtration systems. But if you can avoid bottled water, not to mention what it does to our environment by having all that as trash, obviously once in a while it's necessary, but I really encourage you not to. So any questions on that at all?
No.
Okay. So that's the
Kimberly,
importance. Yeah.
I do have a question. Well, Brita, I know that people use the Brita filter water in there, but isn't that pitcher made out of plastic?
It is, but it's a BPA free plastic. It's made especially, but you're not putting your oils in there anyway. You're pouring the water through the Brita filter, and then you're pouring your water out. Generally, I'm speaking of, like, I've seen people put a couple drops of oil in their plastic bottle.
I see.
So,
yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So next topic I want to talk about is the energy drinks. Have any of you ever drank one of those Red Bulls or any of those drinks at all? I love to see no hands up. That's great.
Well, I have in the past, but I don't anymore. I mean, years ago, 20 years ago when they first came out.
Yes, before you knew how bad they were potentially.
When I was driving from Florida to Nevada.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you do it to stay awake
but not anymore.
Good. So those energy drinks are just awful, guys, let me tell you. And I'm going to tell you that your kids and your grandkids are most likely drinking them to help them get through the school day, to help them get through anything. And I want to tell you how dangerous they are. They are packed with ridiculous amounts of caffeine. And, all of us have had a morning where we maybe drank an extra cup of coffee. And how many of you had the jitters and, your heart's racing? It's an awful feeling. And so it creates anxiety. You can get headaches and migraines from those energy drinks. There have been so many studies done on cardiac arrest because of the huge amounts of caffeine in it. All right. It can cause insomnia, diabetes, drug interactions, addictions. That's the biggest thing. People start using those and they become addicted to them. And they're in every 7-Eleven or Maverick gas station. They're even in the grocery store. When you're in the checkout line at the grocery store, I took a picture of one the other day. I couldn't believe it. It was called 7-hour energy drink or something like that in the checkout line. And I turned it around and looked at it, and sure enough, caffeine, and it's filled with all sorts of artificial ingredients and it says no sugar. That's their only claim to fame. No sugar. Oh, but it was filled with so much other crap that's bad for you. So, just stay away from them. It causes high blood pressure. And then you can get, some of them are real high dose in niacin, and you can have a niacin overdose. So just, you guys know, but if you ever see somebody drinking an energy drink, maybe recommend that they try something different, a glass of water with some oils in it. So on that note, I'm going to have Wendy talk about another drink that you can have if you are having energy problems, and that's our fabulous MetaPower. And so
is that next? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about MetaPower. Okay, I have to go to my notes here. Okay, so how many of you want to slow down the clock, the aging clock? Like, wouldn't you
Oh, yeah.
rather? You want to
All of
have your
us.
cells live a long, long time. Well, maybe the MetaPower is something that you should consider taking. Just to show of hands, how many of us are on MetaPower? How many of us are using the MetaPower? A few of you. Okay. And how many of you are on another type of collagen powder from a different company? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you, if you're taking, whether it's doTERRA's or another brand, just ask you, do you feel like it's working for you? And a lot of times we start to take supplements, vitamins, minerals, because we think we're supposed to. But then I want to know if you feel like they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, because there's so many different quality issues with products that we buy. And I just think doTERRA gives you the biggest bang for the buck. So let's talk about why I feel that way. So there are three things about our collagen product that I think is noteworthy. And the first one is that it has coenzymes in it called NAD plus and NADH. And don't ask me to say those words, they're such a mouthful, so we'll just leave it at that. But what they do is they help your cells act younger. So there you go. So that's going to give you more energy. It's going to give you more vitality. It's going to give you more youthful looking skin and mobility. The other thing that I think is important to consider about our collagen product is that it's 12 times more absorbable than the other collagens that you find on the marketplace. And you might want to go, well, how is that? So a product is only as good as what your body can do with it. And so if you're taking a collagen product and you're feeling like it's not serving you, it could be that it's just not being absorbed and utilized in the body. So doTERRA is doing something with their collagen that they call hydrolyzed tripeptides. And what that means is they're taking the collagen and they're making it into little tiny bits that actually help it get into the cells of your body easier. So if you look at your collagen product, you might see that it says that it's a peptide, and that will tell you that it's a larger fragment of collagen, and your body might not be able to break that down to actually utilize it. The third thing that I think is noteworthy, and there are many others that I could talk about, but the third thing that I think is noteworthy is that doTERRA's collagen product has 9 different types of collagen. So if you look at the collagen that you're taking right now, you might see it has collagen types 1, 2, and 3, which are sort of common for the beauty industry to embrace. There are 28 different types of collagen in your body. It's the most plentiful protein in your body. And of these 28, researchers don't even know what some of them do. But these 9 that are in the doTERRA collagen product do things like improve the beauty of your skin. They improve that lift of the skin. It gives it more scaffolding, more structure. It protects your bones. It improves muscular function. It decreases oxidative stress. And so that's when your body is dealing with all of these synthetic invaders, whether they're coming from the pollution in your environment, carpeting and paint odors and exhaust and pollution in your environment, or the things that you're actually putting on your skin, like personal care products, taking in with regards to artificial ingredients and colors and things like that. So your body has to fight against all that, and it creates something called oxidative stress, and it leads to premature aging. So this product will help turn that on its head, go in the opposite direction. It can decrease joint pain due to the improved cartilage in your body. And of course, the cartilage is, when you think of it, in the joints of the body, but this is also the intervertebral discs right up and down your spine. So there's a couple of other things that I think are noteworthy. If you look at your collagen that you're taking, if it's not a doTERRA product, I want you to notice if it comes with liposomal vitamin C. So vitamin C and collagen are best friends. They sort of depend on each other to synthesize the production of the collagen. And it's important because the fibroblasts, which are components of your connective tissue, synthesize or make new collagen, and it also stabilizes the collagen fibers that you already have. You may have heard of hyaluronic acid. So that's something else that's in doTERRA's collagen product. And what hyaluronic acid does is it keeps the water inside your cells. So if you or someone you know and love is struggling with crepey skin, dry skin, scaly skin, it could be a loss of water within the cellular structure. And it could be that the collagen product can help you with improve your the tone and texture of your skin. So the way I use it is I just empty the little packet into a mason jar. And then I'm going to fill my mason jar about halfway with filtered water. And I put my lid on and I give it a good strong shake so everything gets dissolved. And then I'm going to add some ice. And, you know, everybody's taste buds are tickled by different things. And so if you feel like it's not quite the flavor that you like, you could always add, my mother uses cranberry juice. You could add an essential oil, maybe grapefruit essential oil, so that you can shift that flavor profile to something that you find more palatable. I don't have any problem with the flavor. I think that it's fine just the way that it is. So I hope that you'll give that a try. Also, if you're on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, if you go into the custom little box, you'll see that the collagen product shows up as one of those items that you can add to the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and you save. It's a significant amount of
$20,
money.
$20.
It's almost $20 that you save on that pack. So it's a really good deal. And the Lifelong Vitality Pack really is something that I would recommend that you consider taking if you're not doing it already. So that is my little spiel about MetaPower. Anything you want to add about that, Kimberly?
Yes, actually I do. And when you were talking about how the MetaPower helps with the connective tissue and, you know, and the bones and all of that and joints, that has been from the people that I've had on the MetaPower, that has been their biggest aha about being on the MetaPower, is they say their joints feel better, they're not hurting as much, their low back doesn't hurt as much, that just the aches and pains that they were experiencing seem to have just gone away. And that's phenomenal. And Wade is one of them. My partner, he's the same thing. He won't live without his MetaPower. He says it makes such a difference in the way just his body feels. And I notice it too. I don't think I had quite as many aches and pains, but you know, I guess I've been on it now so long, I just don't even remember having aches and pains because I feel so good. And I'm so grateful for that. And so you're getting hydration, you're putting something healthy into your body that is totally absorbable and it tastes delicious. I've added grapefruit to mine. I love the grapefruit, but I like it just the way it is too. So I don't have it. And there's really no excuse to not drink it.
And Kimberly, I think that the MetaPower actually deserves its own class because there's a lot of components to the whole MetaPower system.
Oh, totally.
The Advantage is just one of the components in that. So I've got like tons of testimonials that I've saved over the last year since doTERRA has come out with the MetaPower system. And it's really awe-inspiring to see the changes that people have made. And a lot of these folks didn't change their diet, which is crazy to consider. It's just that their metabolic health improved. Awesome.
And
okay.
that replaces any of the energy drinks we were talking about. Right. That's why we went into the MetaPower. If you're taking the MetaPower, you're giving your body the nutrients it needs so it can function, and you will have more energy, and you won't need energy drinks and caffeine.
Right.
So,
okay. All right, Kimberly, I'm going to move on to our ebook and just remind everybody that, you know, Kimberly's got a very large doTERRA organization, and what we decided to do was segment the population and invite people that are interested in the online classes to receive those emails. And so I'm hoping that everybody has received the opt-in form that you fill out, and then you receive our little Summer Beverages ebook, and that's the way you're going to start to keep in touch. So Dawn, I see you, and I'm going to make sure that you get that. I'm just going to write myself a little note. Anybody else need to get the link for, and speak up, don't be shy, because a lot of your faces I can't see on the screen right now. Okay.
Kelly?
Kelly, did you get it, hon?
Yes, please. I have not, but I don't.
Oh, I thought,
I don't
Kelly, you did it. You
check my
opted in.
email.
You did opt in.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I got a notification right away that you had opted in. So you're good.
Yeah, and I think what happens,
So
Kimberly, is
what
if
do I
somebody
look for? Because
okay, Kelly, so when you opt in, you filled in this little
Yeah.
form, and then it goes into this automatic email sequence, and you'll receive the ebook and then a series of emails. But if you don't go into your mail and open up the ebook, I don't think you get those emails. So you have to go in and go ahead and sort of verify your email
what
address by
what would
opening
it
up.
be? What would it come from, you guys? What would it
It
come
would
Kimberly
come
at
from so
winning,
that I know
Kimberly
what
at
to look
winning, Kimberly at winningwaysforlife.com.
for? Okay,
right.
I'll look for that. Thank you, Kimberly.
Okay.
And
All right, great.
thank you, Wendy.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we put together just a quick little ebook of some of our favorite summer beverages. And we were talking about the lemon essential oil a few minutes ago and how beneficial that is
Lovely.
for your liver. And we put together this lemon and lavender spritzer. And I just thought this was a great opportunity to brag a little bit about the quality of doTERRA's essential oils. So in 2021, the Journal of Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Analysis designated doTERRA's lavender as a pharmaceutical grade product. And that's a really big deal in the industry. If you can imagine,
totally.
essential oils are made from many organic compounds, and those organic compounds are influenced by wind and weather and rain and soil quality and how they're handled. It's a huge job to get a consistent product. And doTERRA has really gotten that code figured out. So they know how to make that product consistent from one batch to the next. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me personally. I love lavender and I wouldn't be any wiser if I saw that pharmaceutical grade on my bottle. But what it does is it helps to bring this essential oil into the medical community because now it's a consistent product and it can be used for testing. Can you imagine working in a lab and running this big fancy test? And every time you reached for a bottle of essential oil that said lavender, that it was different. And so their test results are going to be skewed because the product isn't consistent from one batch to the next. So it'll bring human testing into the foray and get our products into the hands of the medical community. But in this particular case, we're just putting it in a drink, and it's really lovely to take this internally, but a little bit goes a long way. So we're recommending just one toothpick swirl of lavender, and I just thought I would show you how to do that. So you're just going to open up your bottle. Maybe I'll stop sharing this.
Wendy, I'm going to stop you. Oh, good. I wanted you to take that picture out so we can see you good.
Yeah.
Full.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
and you can see there's this little tiny hole at the very top. That's your orifice. And you're going to take a toothpick and you're going to push that into the orifice, and you're going to gather some essential oil on that toothpick. And then that toothpick is going to go into your drink. And that is all you're going to use because lavender is wicked strong, as we say in Boston. It's wicked strong. So that's how you just put a toothpick swirl of lavender. Okay? Clear?
Okay.
Okay, good. Let me go back and see if I can pop that up.
And that toothpick is really essential, guys. So oftentimes we think, oh, I'm just going to put one little drop in, and you go to take your bottle, right? And how many times do 2 or maybe 3 drops come out, right? And then you've overdone it, and it's like, oh my God. And if you're drinking it, it's super strong. So the toothpick is all you need, and it just adds the perfect amount.
Right. Right. Okay. So Kimberly, you want to talk about your Yogi Tea?
Sure.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm going
let's
to
go to
zip
Yogi
through
Tea.
these. Oh, here's this one. Kimberly loves this recipe, so we put this in here too. Can you see that okay, everybody?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
so pretty.
There it is.
So I got this recipe from one of my yoga instructors many years ago, Johanna McLean. But her recipe was to boil all of these things together, and then you let them sit, and you had to let them sit for a minimum of 8 to 10 hours to really create this amazing yogi tea. And so I did that, and I loved it, and I'd leave the pot sitting on the stove all day. But I didn't always have time, and sometimes I just wanted some yogi tea, and I thought, gosh, I don't feel like waiting all day. I'm out of it, right? So I thought, I wonder if I could do this with my oils. And so I got all my oils out. Now, one of the things about essential oils you need to understand is they're volatile. And what that means is they evaporate quickly. And so the aroma also evaporates as well as the constituents. So we don't want to put an essential oil in and boil it. You know, so you're not going to put it in the boiling water. What you're going to do is you're going to boil the water and steep the tea. Okay, so in a teapot, you're going to put your black tea bag or your green tea bag, and you can use regular black tea or you can use decaffeinated tea. Okay, and then you're going to steep it. Then after it steeps, that is when you add the oils. So that you're not boiling away the constituents. It's still hot water, but you're not cooking it away anymore at that high temp. And so add 1 drop of the following of each of those oils: cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, clove, and black pepper. And it is amazing. Now, if you want to sweeten the tea, you can use locally grown honey, which also helps with allergies. But I have really switched away from honey only because of the glycemic index. It's very high in the glycemic index, which means it can elevate your blood sugar considerably. Now, honey is a much better choice than white sugar. We touched upon this last week a little bit. But if you can use an agave nectar or a date nectar, they're both really low on the glycemic index. And you don't need much at all in a 2-cup teapot, like less than a teaspoon. I just kind of squirt a little bit in there and it just mixes up really beautifully. Now, I like to make a latte with it. So I will add some almond or coconut milk to it. And I like to froth it. I have a little frother, and then I just kind of pour that in there as well. But let me tell you the benefits of this amazing tea. Now, it's also great as iced tea. So I would make a big pot of it. I would drink some of it hot because I like hot stuff in the morning. And then I would pour a bunch into, and you know, if you make a base and you let it steep for a long time and you use several, I don't use tea bags, I use loose leaf tea now. And so you can make it very strong and then pour it into a big old pot and then just add regular tap water to it. So it becomes like, what would you call it? Like a concentrate. All right. And then you add water to it, stick it in your fridge, and then you can just pour it whenever you want. And so let's just talk a little bit about the benefits of the oils that are in there. So now I don't have to steep it all day long, but I'm getting the benefits of these amazing oils. So cinnamon is so amazing, and it's great for healthy blood sugar response. So, you know, a lot of diabetics and people with blood sugar issues, cinnamon is amazing. Ginger, we all know the power of ginger. It's great for your respiratory system, your immune system. It clears mucus. It can help with an upset tummy. It can help with dizziness. Ginger is amazing. It's also an anti-inflammatory. So is clove. Clove is an anti-inflammatory, and it supports your nervous and your immune system. And clove is really high in antioxidants. It's one of the highest. It's incredible. Black pepper is great for circulation, and I love black pepper. I use it for cooking a lot too, the black pepper oil. So if you're putting it in a sauce, instead of putting a whole bunch of fresh black pepper, put 1 drop of the black pepper oil into there, and it gives it that beautiful flavor without the sneezing. You know. And then lastly, we're back to cardamom, which is such an amazing oil, and it supports your respiratory and digestive system, which we already addressed. So it is such a healthy drink to have. It is delicious. And I've also added a couple of drops of wild orange to it. That's not on the traditional recipe, but I like that little bit of citrus flavor. It just kind of sweetens it. So you can play with that. I've added cassia to it before to add a little sweetener, but this is your basic recipe, and I love it. It is just great to drink all day long. So that's my little recipe.
Yeah, she loves that one. She loves it. Okay. Any questions about Yogi Tea?
No question, but definitely a comment. I
Yeah.
cannot even wait to try this. I had found a recipe similar to this from a yoga instructor I used to follow online. And I got all the ingredients, and it was so the way she did it didn't seem as simple as this, but it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we don't have
labor
time for
intensive.
that.
Exactly.
So this, you're getting the purity of the oils and the benefits of it. It's fantastic. I can't even wait to try this.
Yeah.
Just
Excellent.
remember, put it in after you boil the water. That's the
Yeah.
biggest key.
Yeah. And Shelley, don't you think
Awesome.
that things need to be simple? I mean, we have such busy lives. Who needs things to be more complicated than they need to be?
Well, absolutely. You know, like you were saying, Kimberly, you don't have time to sit around and wait for this. And the idea of having a concentrate ready to go is the best way to do it, in my opinion. I think it's great.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. So that's a great segue to the next drink that we're going to talk about. And this is one that, excuse me, I've been playing around with for a while. I call it the Shake-a-ccino. And it's a nice little, it's like a smoothie, but you don't have to pull out the blender or the Vitamix. It's really easy to make. So what I do is I just get, again, that mason jar, the same one that I use for my MetaPower. And I'm going to add some of my ingredients. So you can see I use a plant-based milk, and I like Kimberly turned me onto this one, that Elmhurst milk, because it only has 2 ingredients. And I usually just get the almond, but get whatever you like. And you're going to add a tablespoon of hemp seeds. If you're not familiar with hemp seeds, I just think they are such a winner. They're a great way to get some extra protein. Matter of fact, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds has as much has as much protein as a scoop of your protein powder. And it's a really easy and delicious way to get extra protein. We also get magnesium and iron and zinc and potassium. They're really, really excellent little superfoods. They taste a little nutty. They're absolutely delicious. I would recommend that when you buy them from the grocery store, that you put them in a mason jar and just keep them in your refrigerator. And I was at Costco the other day and I was thrilled to see that they had a big bag of hemp seeds for a fraction of the cost that I've been seeing in my grocery store. Unfortunately, I just bought my hemp, so I'm just going to have to catch up with that next time. But I was really happy to see that I could save some money going to Costco. Okay, the next thing that's on the list is the liquid coconut oil, and this makes the hemp seeds a lot more bioavailable. So these 2 are best friends in your belly, and it helps bring all those great vitamins and minerals into the body. I like to add.
Don't mix that up with fractionated coconut oil, girls. This is organic coconut oil for cooking and consuming. Our fractionated coconut oil is for external. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same handling properties. So in other words, it's not generally regarded as safe. It's not on that list that the FDA has given us. Okay, so just use a cooking oil. Thanks, Kimberly. And then I like to use maple syrup, but you could use stevia, you can use agave, you can use honey, whatever floats your boat. I like the maple syrup because I just love maple syrup.
It.
And it dissolves very quickly in my drink. Now you'll see on my recipe, it says a half a cup full fat Greek style yogurt. And I've been on a quest to find the best plant-based yogurt. And I always open it up with high expectations, and I'm hugely disappointed every time until, drum roll please, I'm in love with this one. It's called Coco June, and it is a coconut probiotic Greek style yogurt, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's got lots of fat, which we want because that helps you stay full for a long time. Again, it's got the probiotics in it. It's got this little hint of coconut. It is absolutely delicious. Not the cheapest yogurt on the shelf, but worth every penny. I just love this yogurt. I got this one recently at a grocery store here in the Punta Gorda area called Farmer Joe's. I don't know where you'll get it in your neighborhood. Maybe if you have a Whole Foods or one of those Thrive markets or something, Fresh Market, but it's really delicious. And then I'm going to add a couple of essential oils. So again, all of this is going into a mason jar. And I like to add wild orange to mine. And then the superstar here is the Madagascar vanilla. That's a beautiful, oh God, the smell of it. Ugh, it makes me salivate. So it's delicious. You can put this in anything really, but it's really nice in the coconut. yogurt. It's really delicious. So then you just put everything in your jar, put that cap on, and then you're going to shake, which is why it's a shake-a-ccino. So you're just going to shake and shake and shake and shake and shake. Everything gets dissolved. And then you can go ahead and open it up and drink it. It's really, really good. And if it's too thick, then just add a little bit more of your milk. It's just such an easy thing to make. So the Madagascar vanilla is really nice for your skin. You could apply that topically, but it's really delicious in a number of beverages. And as I was getting ready for class today, I came across a list of other uses for Madagascar vanilla. And one of them was to create your own signature scent. So you could create your own perfume with Madagascar because it does smell so delicious. People are going to be wanting to lick your neck when you put that. So you could mix that with oils like rose or magnolia or jasmine. Neroli is one of my absolute favorites. And you can just start with that floral combination and you can layer the vanilla to create whatever signature scent you want. You could mix it with frankincense and jasmine, which is a beautiful combination. Can mix it with helichrysum and rose and put it on your skin for a facial moisturizer. Vanilla and On Guard in your diffuser kind of gives it a warm aroma. Add it to tea, add it to a warm hot chocolate drink. So lots of uses for Madagascar vanilla. So if you haven't gotten that one, I hope that you'll add it to your shopping list. It's really, really good. Okay, any questions about the Shake-a-ccino or anything else that we've talked about?
Oh, just a little comment, Wendy, when you talked about the vanilla and how pleasing it was. I remembered years ago reading about some kind of survey that was taken about the men's favorite fragrance or aroma, and it was vanilla. And they said there's something about maybe associating it vanilla with cooking or baking or comfort or yeah, isn't that funny? But that was like the top pick for most men of their favorite aromas.
All right, so be warned, ladies. If you don't want the boys sniffing around, don't
just
be
a
wearing your
toothpick
Madagascar.
swirl. Toothpick swirl.
Yeah, exactly. So fun.
I love it.
So fun.
Can you tell us about that yogurt again? The one you found that you loved?
Yeah. So can you see that?
No,
Cocoa
June.
organic cultured coconut yogurt, and it's got a probiotic in it. It's a Greek style, so it's got that consistency.
I just typed it into the chat.
That
yeah, I wasn't when the video picture was up. I couldn't see Wendy, so I didn't see exactly what she was holding.
Yeah, it's really good, really, really good. I had heard about it online. Somebody else was talking about how much they liked it, and I kept it in the back of my mind and was happy to see it when I went to the grocery store last week. Delicious. Really,
Gonna
really
have
good.
to try that one, Wendy.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I think you've noticed throughout this is that we're all about easy, and so the Shake-a-ccino, I think, is such a brilliant idea. So you don't have to pull out the Vitamix or the blender or whatever, because it just gets overwhelming with all the different things. That's why I don't really make smoothies. A lot of people, I love smoothies, but I'd rather just go buy one because it's a pain in the butt to make them.
And clean up.
And clean up. Yes. So the Shake-a-ccino, just throw it in the jar and man, you got it going, right? And the MetaPower, put it in a jar and shake it up and drink it and putting some oils in your water. Let's keep life simple. But for those of you who do like to make smoothies on another note, or enjoy and you use protein powders, are you aware that doTERRA has a beautiful vanilla and a chocolate protein powder? They also have a fiber, which is excellent if you're not getting enough fiber. And then lastly, they have greens, and the greens actually taste really good. And you can use them in recipes or you can put them in your smoothie. You can also, what they did at the doTERRA convention, all they did was take some of the greens and put it in water and stir it up. And we got to taste what it tasted like. Well, there's berries in the greens as well. So you're getting, it tastes like berries, not kale, so anyway, there's, Wendy's just brought up this nutrition line cookbook too. that you all have access to on the doTERRA site. And it's got all sorts of recipes for making different things using the fiber and the protein powder and the greens. So
yeah, and you
for
know
those
what?
of you-
I'll add this to the replay email so that you'll have
Perfect.
easy access to the ebook from doTERRA.
recipes.
Oh,
Perfect,
you.
Wendy. Thank you.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
it today, ladies. I hope you learned some good stuff. And pour yourself a glass of water.
I love
And
these little sessions you gals do. Thank you so much.
you're
Yeah,
so
thank
welcome.
you.
Our pleasure. We're so happy to see
Yes.
you. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to be making dinner together. So Kimberly's going to share some marinades, and I'm going to share a couple of my favorite salad dressings. And so maybe you want to make dinner with us. Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll
it's gonna
send
be
out
really fun.
we'll send out the emails again, and we always post everything on This Stuff Really Works. So if you have anybody that wants to learn how to cook, and once again, using these and marinades is so much easier than having the dried dried herbs or fresh herbs.
Right.
And it tastes better. And it costs less in the long run, because unless you have a garden and you're growing all those herbs, it's expensive when you buy them, and then they only last for a few days in the fridge, and then you're throwing them away, and you just spent $4 for a little thing of thyme or something.
I
It's
know.
just absurd. And these bottles, you get a bottle of thyme, it'll last you your lifetime.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. Seriously.
Not
So-
your life.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope to see you girls in 2 weeks.
Well, this was
Thank you.
You're
this was
welcome. Thanks
awesome.
for being
Thank
here.
you, ladies.
Bye,
You're welcome.
Jennifer.
Bye.
Bye, Linda.
Bye, ladies. Bye, girls.
Bye, Shelly. Bye, Osnan. Bye, everybody. Bye. I love it. It's like the Brady Bunch. I love it.
Yeah, it totally is. That's
So
the Brady Bunch.
The Brady
I-
Bunch.